Hey, sixth grade math students. So we are starting lesson 4.3 today, which is all about solving algebraic equations with real life situation or real world problems, okay? But as I do now, I'm going to have you write an algebraic expression. So with what you're gonna write right now, it is not going to be an equation. It's not going to be solvable. It's going to be an expression. So here you go. Game system costs $300. So one game system costs $300. Its controller, not plural, so only one controller costs $40. And then each game costs $60. So write an algebraic expression to show what the total cost would be to buy one game system at $300 plus one controller at $40 plus X number of games. X is the variable, so we don't know how many games, but we know that they cost $60 each. So write an algebraic expression for the total cost to buy one game system, one controller, and $60 a piece for X number of games. Go ahead and do that on Edpuzzle right now, and then we will be launching into actually doing our first algebraic equation as part of this lesson. Okay, so here we are on page 211. I would like you to have your textbook handy so you can also look at the picture in the book as well as I'm explaining it. So if you need to pause the video to grab your textbook, please do that. Shirley wants to frame a picture. The border of the frame is X inches wide. So I've kind of tried to model like inside, right, is the picture. And we know that the width of the frame is X inches wide. So we actually don't know what X represents. But I've drawn in here, we've got X inches here, 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 and here. And they're all the same they're the same measurement, okay? The picture dimensions are 12 by 5. So let me draw in, so the picture dimensions, so it's 12 inches like this way, right? 12 inches this way. And now I think you've got a sense that this is the picture, right? And we know that it's 5 inches this way and 5 inches this way, right? So the picture is 12 by 5. So it's 12 going this way, 12 going this way, 5 going this way, and 5 going this way, okay? So I've organized, I'm kind of just organizing my information. So I've got the picture, I've drawn it out. I've got that the border of the frame is X inches wide, that the picture dimensions are 12 by 5, and that the outer perimeter is 58 inches. So remember when we see is in math, that gives us our equals, right? Is equal to. So at this point, we know that the outer perimeter is 58 inches, which means in this case, the perimeter equals 58 inches. So to be able to now, this is why we have an equation, right? Because at this point we have an equal sign and we need to start plugging in our values from our picture to be able to solve, because the question says find the width of the frame of the border. So essentially you're looking to solve for X. They want to know what is X equal to. Find the width of the frame's border, okay? And back up here, we know the border of the frame is X inches wide. So we're solving for X here. So how do you find perimeter? Well, perimeter, as you know, is 2 times the length plus 2 times the width, right? Equals 58 inches. So 2 times the length. How are we going to find out what 2 times, and we're going to call this the length because it's the longer side. So therefore this would also be, I'm just gonna put a length up there, L for length. And then this would be our width, right? And that means we've got and I'm not putting those variables, I'm not making a W and an L to introduce as variables here. I'm just shortcutting what I'm writing here right now. So when we talk about length, we're talking about, we got to find out what this length is, right? And it's going to be multiplied by 2 because we've got 2 of them. And then we need to find out what this width is, right? And then we're going to multiply that by 2. So take a moment and just look at that picture and think, how would you start plugging in the value for length with this example? So for length, our length here, with the information that we have, is up until here, we know that the length is 12 inches, right? Because that was the size of the picture. And then we know we've got the 12 inches here, but we also know we have X inches there, right? And X inches on the other side. So to find this entire length, we have this 12 that is the picture, and then we've got an X to make up this distance, and we've got an X to make up this distance. So at this point, we're going to keep this 2 out here. We're keeping this 2 out here because it's just representing that these lengths are going to be the same. And the actual length is, we've got X plus X, so that's 2X, right? And then 12, right? So to represent one length here, we've got 12 inches, so we've got that there, and we've got X plus X. X plus X is the same as saying 2X. So my expression that would just represent the length would be 2X plus 12, right? That's what we have going on here. 2X plus 12 makes that length. But we have this length and we have this length because we're solving for perimeter, which is why I have a 2 here. Then we need to add the width. So we know that we have 2 widths, right? 1 and 2. That's why I'm putting this 2 out here. And then how do we find the width? Well, for width, we're looking at this distance, right? So I'll erase this for now. Make it a little less confusing for you. And we know that we have 5 inches, right, for this width of the picture. And then as I've written here, we know that we have a length of X inches here and a length of X inches here. So we have 5 inches, plus we have an X of inches here and an X for inches here. So our width, again, we have 2X, right? 1 and 2 for these gaps in the actual frame, plus 5, because that is the dimension of the picture. And then equals 58 inches. So now we've got our lengths, 2 lengths, and we've got our 2 widths. But we need to expand this expression, right? And distribute the 2. So 2 times 2x is 4x. And 2 times 12 is 24. So 12 times 2 is 24. Plus 2 times 2x is 4x. And 2 times 5 is 10. And this is all equal to 58 inches. Okay, now we need to start grouping like terms, right? And I'm going to use my handy dandy colors here. And I've got a 4x and I've got a positive 4x. So we're going to regroup those. So 4x plus 4x is 8x. And then I have positive 24 plus 10. So 2 positives. Positive 24 plus 10. So that's going to give me a positive 34. And all of this is equal to 58 inches, okay? Now we're gonna use our algebraic approach here, and we're trying to isolate the variable, right? We're trying to get 8 alone, 8x alone. So we've got to get rid of this constant. So the way to undo positive 34 is to subtract 34, right? We're to undo positive 34 is to do the inverse operation, the opposite operation. The way to get rid of 34 is to subtract 34. So if I subtract 34 from the left of the equal sign, I need to subtract 34 from the right of the equal sign. So now I've isolated, I've got 8x equals 58 minus 34 is 24 inches. And I'm not fully done because I still have a coefficient on my variable, right? And it's multiplication. So how do I get rid of multiplication? What's the inverse operation? Well, divide 8 by 8, right? Because if I divide 8 by 8, I'm going to get 1x. And then I need to do the same on the right side. So 8 divided by 8 is 1. So I don't need to write that out. I know 1x is the same as x. 24 divided by 8 is 3. It's positive. X is equal to 3 inches. Now, you know I'm going to tell you to substitute your answer to make sure that you did it correctly. So substitute your x equals 3. So if I go back, I'm going to go back to once I expanded. So if I had 4x plus 24 plus 4x plus 10 equals 58, okay? So I've chosen to skip down, which I think you've noticed me to do before. Once I've expanded expressions, that's when I actually plug in the value. Hold on, let me go grab my phone. I'll be right back. Oh my goodness, thank you for your patience. Okay, I'm gonna try to do this quickly because research shows my videos, I don't want my video to go too long because you guys start losing attention. It says around 8 to 10 minutes and I'm at 12 minutes. So hold on, we're almost there, we're substituting. So I'm gonna substitute 3 in for my x value. So 4 times 3 equals 12 plus 24 equals 36 plus 4 times 3 equals 12, which I added that, so plus 48 plus 10 equals 58. Ta-da! We did it correctly. The value for x is 3 inches. That means that the border frame for Shirley's picture is 3 inches wide. All right, awesome job. Now you're gonna do one on the Edpuzzle on your own. Go back and watch my video if you're not sure. This is, I know the book says this is a one-day lesson. I don't think it's a one-day lesson. Like all of the problems they said is a one-day lesson. We're gonna keep plugging away. And I'm probably gonna say it's 2, maybe 3-day lesson. All right, go try one on Edpuzzle on your own.